Okay, now in this lecture we shall discuss about multiple always statements. Already we have written many programs in which we have used always block, and we used only one always block to write the Verilog module, right? Now it is possible to use multiple always blocks also in certain program. So we will see with one example what is the effect of multiple always blocks, how it works. And we will write one Verilog module and then we will write the test bench and we will see the simulation result. Now let us take one example. Suppose this is the one circuit and we have to write the Verilog module of this circuit. So here there is one XOR gate where input A and B is connected and output of this XOR gate is X. There is one AND gate A1 which has two inputs C and D. Its output is Y. And now there is another AND gate A2. It has one input coming from B and one input coming from D, and it has the output Z. So we have to write the Verilog module of this particular circuit. So we will use the behavioral model in which we use one always block. So the Verilog module is like this: module and module. In between this we will write the code. Let us give the name to this Verilog module as example 1, and various ports of this module is A, B, C, D, X, Y, Z. And input ports are A, B, C, D. Right? These are the input ports A, B, and C, D. The output ports are X, Y, Z. So these are X, Y, Z are the output ports. Okay, now we have declared X, Y, Z as a rect type. Then always at the rate, and the sensitivity of this always block is A, B, C, D. So whenever there is change in the signal of A, B, C, D, whenever any event occur on A, B, C, D input ports, then my this always block will be activated and all the statements inside this block will be executed. So statement first inside this is X is equal to A XOR B. So first statement will assign A XOR B, first is evaluate A XOR B and the result will be assigned to X. So in this way this statement models this particular XOR gate. Then the statement 2 is Y is equal to C and D, and this is modeling our this AND gate. So Y is equal to C and D. Then third statement is Z is equal to B and D. So this is third statement for this A2 AND gate. So here B and D. So see this input B. It is one of the input of this AND gate B, and second input is this D. So the B and D will be evaluated in the third statement and the result will be assigned to Z. So in this way we can model this circuit. Now let us take one example. Let us assume the value of A is equal to 0, B is equal to 0, C is equal to 0 and D is equal to 0, right? So So with these values, the value of x, the output x is 0, output y is 0, and output z is 0, right? And this is the position at the start of the simulation, right? Let us see this. These are the values at t is equal to 0. Now let us assume at 5 nanosecond, at 5 nanosecond, value of a changes from 0 to 1, and remaining inputs B, C, D are same or same 0, right? So what will happen? So this will happen at 5 ns. So at 5 ns, the value of a changes from 0 to 1. So what will happen, since a in the sensitivity list of this always block and its value has been changed, so always block will be activated and all the statements inside always block will be executed. So first statement, it will be executed and a XOR b, this operation will be performed. So now a is 1 and b is 0. So the result will be 1. So x will get an output, x will be 1. Now statement 2 is C and D. C and D is already 0. So there is no change in the value of C and D. So output Y will be 0. Same way output Z. Output Z will be assigned by statement number 3. And here B and D. So B is already 0 and D is also 0. So Z is also 0. So at 5 ns, this will be the result. Now let us assume at 10 nanoseconds, the value of A is same as previous value 1 and B is 0, but now okay, now C is also 0, but the value of D changes to 1, right? So up to 5 ns the value of D is 0, but at 10 ns the value of D will become 1. So now what will happen, since D is in the sensitivity list of this always block, this D is in the sensitivity list, and this value changed at 10 ns. So event occurred on D at 10 ns. So again always block will be activated at 10 nanosecond, and all the three statements will be executed. So first statement, A XOR B. A is 1, B is 0. So A XOR B is 1. So at 5 ns, A XOR B, that is X is 1. So now also there is no change in the value of X. So it will remain 1. Now due to second statement, C and D. So C is 0 and D is 1. So again C and D will be 0. So Y will be 0. So at 5 ns also Y was 0. So here also there is no change in Y, it is 0. Now statement 3 is B and D. So B is 0 and D is 1. So B and D is 0. So the value of Z will be 0. So Z will be 0. At 5 ns also, here you can see the value of Z is 0 at 5 ns, and now at 10 ns also it is 0. So in this way, this code will model this particular circuit, and but now it is possible to write the multiple always block also to model this circuit. How to do this? So this is the code of multiple always block. Up to here there is no change, right? the name of the module is example 2. It has the port A, B, C, D, X, Y, Z. Input ports are A, B, C, D. Output ports are X, Y, Z. And rig type we have declared as output ports we have also declared as rig type. Now I am using here 3 always block. In the first always block, the sensitivity list of the always block is A and B. This means this always block is modeling this XOR gate. And if there is change in the value of A or B, then what is happening? This statement 1 is executed. Now there is second always block, and the sensitivity of list of this always block is having C and D. This means this input C and D input of A1 gate is modeled in this always block. And the statement number 2, this is the statement number 2. Now the third always block, it is having the sensitivity list B and D, right? So see, this input is B and this input is D. So with this we are modeling this AND gate. And the statement inside this always block is Z is equal to B and D. So in this way we can model this. Now you see how the operation will takes place for this particular in this code. Okay. Right. Now let us take these values. This hash 0 indicates at the starting of the simulation time A, B, C, D. These values are 0. So if these values are 0, then the values of X will be 0, Y output will be 0, and Z output will be 0. Now let us assume at 5 ns, right? So see, suppose this is the simulation time t. T is equal to 0. This is 5 ns. This is 10 ns. This is 15 ns. And this is 20 ns. These are the time of the simulation. Now let us see at 5 ns, means at this time. At this time the value of A will become 1, B will remain 0, and C will also become 1 at 5 ns. So what will happen, since the value of A has changed to 1, so event occurred on A and event occurred on C. So see the always block number 1. Always block number 1. In this block, A is in the sensitivity list of this always block. So this always block will be activated at 5 nanosecond. And statement number 1 will be executed, means A XOR B. This operation will be performed. And now A is 1, B is 0, so result is 1, and 1 is assigned to X. So with this, 1 will be assigned to X, right? Now see the always block 2, it has the sensitivity list C and D is in its sensitivity list. And here you see the value of C also changed to 1. So now due to the event occurred on C at 5 nanosecond, always block number 2 is also active at 5 nanosecond. and the statement inside this, that is statement number 2, will be executed. So this statement is C and D. C is 1 and D is 0 at 5ns. So the result will be 0. So there is no change in the value of Y. Y will remain 0. Right? But this statement executes, statement number 2. Now you see the always block number 3. It has the sensitivity list B and D. But there is no change in the value of B and D, right? Because at 0ns, B was 0. At 5ns, B is 0. At 0ns, 5 is 0, D is 0, and at 5ns, D is 0. So there is no change in the value of B and D. So there is no event on B and D. That's why always block number 3 is not activated. And statement 3 will not execute. And whatever is the previous value of Z, it will remain as it is. So Z will remain as it is, 0. Right? Now, again after 5ns, the next statement at 5ns, the 5ns means now we are talking about this 10ns. 5ns after first values, these values. Now at 10ns, the value of A is 1. Previously also it was 1. See, it was 1 here. So there is no change in A. But the value of B changed from 0 to 1. So event occurred on B. C value is 1. There is no change in the C. But the value of D changes from 0 to 1. So now at 10ns, event occurred on B and D. Right? So here event occurred, I write here B and D, event occurred. So due to this, what will happen? Always block number 1, it has B in its sensitivity list. So this will be executed. A XOR B will be statement will be executed, and the result is A XOR B. A is 1, B is 1. So 1 XOR 1 is 0. So now X will become 0. So the value of X will become 0 at 10ns. Now always block number 2 is having C and D in its sensitivity list. So there is event on D also. D also changed to 1. So always block number 2 is also activated and statement 2 is executed. And that is C and D will be evaluated. So now C is 1, D is 1 at 10ns. So the evaluation result is 1, that will be assigned to Y. So Y will get a value 1 at 10ns. Now what about the third always block? It is having B and D in its sensitivity list, and B and D both has got the event. So always block number 3 will also activated. The statement 3 is executed and B and D is evaluated, and the result is 1, and 1 will be assigned to Z. So 1 will be assigned to Z. So this will happen at 10 nanosecond. Right? This here, this is at 0 at the start. This is at 5 nanosecond. Now after this, again after 5ns, this means now we are talking about 15ns. At this, what happened? Value of A changed from 1 to 0. So event occurred on A. Value of B remains same, it is 1. Value of C remains same, it is 1. Value of D remains same, it is 1. So at 15ns, the event occurred on A. Due to this, the always block number 1 is activated because A is in the sensitivity list of always block. So always block is activated at 15ns, and the statement A XOR B is evaluated. So A XOR B will give you the result. A is 0 and B is 1. So A XOR B will give you the value 1, and 1 is assigned to Z. So here, 1 is assigned to X. So now here X will become 1. Right? Only always block number 1 is activated. So only this statement executes. and always block 2 and 3, they will not activate it because the sensitivity list of always block 2 is having C and D. There is no change in the value of C and D. And always block number 3 is having the sensitivity list of B and D. So there is no change in the value of B and D also. So always block 2 and 3 is not activated. So the previous value of Y will remain as it is. So Y will be 1 and Z will be 1. So these are the values of X, Y, Z at 15 nanosecond. Now the next statement is hash $5 finish. So with this what happened? 5 nanosecond after 15 ns means we are talking about the 20 ns. At 20 ns simulation stops. Simulation stop. So in this way this multiple always block module will work. It is also giving the same result what result we were getting from single always block, right? So now we will see the test bench. So this is the module. For this we have to write the test bench. So this is a unit under test, this Verilog module. It has the ports A, B, C, D as an input port, and test bench ports are also A, B, C, D, same name, and these will be declared as rig type. And the output ports are X, Y, Z. The name of the ports of the test bench X, Y, Z are associated with the output ports X, Y, Z of the unit under test, so they will be declared as wire. And this is the test bench, right? Module name of the test bench is test bench, rig A, rig B, rig C, rig D, wire X, wire Y, wire Z. Example 2 is the name of our unit under test, then UUT, and here is the instantiation of the various ports. Then initial, begin, $monitor, and these are the values, right? So same, we have taken the same values. See, whatever we have discussed in this particular case, right? These values, same values we have assigned here in the test bench also. Okay, so this is our test bench. So after the simulation of the test bench, we got this result. Okay, so here you can see at 5 ns, we are talking about this time at 5 ns. At 5 ns means this time the value of A and value of C changed. So where is A? This is A. So A has become 1 and C has become 1, right? So here A is 1, B is 0, C is 1 and D is 0. So due to this what will happen? You get an result X 1, Y 0 and Z 0. Okay. So this you got because there is event on A and C, right? Because A become 1 and C become 1. Earlier A was 0 and C was 0. So there is event on A and C. Due to this, always block this and this both will be activated. And always block number third, this is always block number third. This is not activated at 5 ns, right? Because it has the B and D as the sensitivity list. So there is no event on B and D. So this is not executed. And due to first always block, A XOR B will give you 1. So that's why X will become 1. And C and D. So C is 0, C is 1, but D is 0. So the AND operation will give you result 0. So Y is 0 and Z is already 0. There is no change in the value of Z. Now you see at 10 ns. At 10 ns, value of A is same 1. Value of B has become 1 now. value of C is 1 and value of D is 1. So now what happened? The event occurred on B and D. Due to this, what happened? B and D, always block number 1, always block number 2, and always block number 3. All these are executed because B is in the sensitivity list of 1 always block, D is in the sensitivity list of second always block, and B and D both are in the sensitivity list of third always block. So all the statements are executed. A XOR B will give you the 0 result. So you see here X will become 0. Now C and D will give you 1. So that's why Y has become 1. And Z is equal to B and D, and Z will also become 1. So these are the values. So in this way, this multiple block will execute, and it is possible to write the model in by using multiple always block also. Okay.